with caution.
What's up, my drunken fighters, and welcome back to another video. This time I wanted to talk to you guys about 6MK, otherwise known as 4MK, forward MK or overhead, and whatever you want to call it. And I want to try and convince you guys that this could probably potentially be one of the best overheads in the game. This is a long stretch, but I've recently come onto some, I was experimenting with this move and for all the usages that it has, but also something that I have never noticed before, and this is actually really bad for me to admit to you guys, but maybe you haven't noticed either, but overhead 6MK, it gets a target combo at drink level 2, but it also gets something much more significant. The travel distance of the normal increases significantly. Now, right off the bat, I just want to tell you guys this. I haven't prepared anything. Sometimes I just have a video idea, I record, and I talk about it. So, if any data is off or anything, like, just, keep in mind that I'm doing this from the top of my head. And, yeah, sometimes that's what I love to do. So, let me show you the distance right away, and the easiest way to actually show this is actually with drive rush. So let's just go full screen, and let's do drive rush overhead instantly. So as you can see, we land right in front of them. Not a good position to start. However, the moment you have 2 drinks, meaning you unlock the target combo, look what happens to the distance. It became much, much more. To put this more into visual effect, let's say from a starting position, not even close, right? Look at that. Once again, distance is increased significantly. And this is actually really interesting because it's probably one of the most the overhead with the biggest reach in the game. I can't come up with another overhead that has, it's not the best in terms of being able to confirm and get damage off of it, unlike characters like Bison, for example. But in terms of range, it is pretty good. And the fact it can also lead to an extra drink is, on top of that, really good as well. So that being said, another great thing about it is that it also, there is a few frames where it is actually airborne, meaning that it can hop over some lows and other things. So actually the biggest tip I want to give you guys is the moment you're in drink level 2, keep in mind that you can utilize this more in the neutral when people are trying to poke with, let's say, Ken's crouching medium kicks or anything like that. It creates a lot more use than just getting the target combo. Now, there are some abilities where the target combo can come in handy. In the corner, for example, you can only do this part of the target combo and do not go for the drink, and you get a 31 frame advantage. If you actually frame kill with 2MP here, you have a 10 frame, which means you have the perfect amount to get a meaty 5MP. And an actual 10 frame meaty 5MP is fantastic. The reason for that is because you're +5, which is a big deal. +5 is huge. You won't be in range to go for a 2MP or anything like that, but you can go for another 5MP and set up just a really good advantage. That being said, there are a couple of, not really setups that I found, but like messing around with, because I wanted to bring you guys back a few days when I was streaming. I wanted to find some of the setups that would actually abuse the range of this drink level 2 6MK. One that I could find particularly is, everyone knows if you go for medium kick DP, you can follow it up with a meaty driver's overhead, right? There we go, you're +3, so that's pretty good. Normally it's like +1. So, but what you can also do on back recovery from this range, if you just whiff 5 LP, you can see that this is almost the max distance 6MK can hit. But it is from a distance that if I were Ed in this case, I'm sorry, but I would not expect an overhead at this point. Granted, this may or may not work in neutral when they're walking back, but if you do this instantly, let's say we do like this. Look at that. Did you see how max range that 6MK hit in that situation? It is really good to getting an extra drink, and you could vouch to say like, yeah, but I could just do heavy DP and get a drink. That's true. Definitely true. There's something to be said about that, but there's way more screen space. You could potentially go for like a 6MK drivers here, but I think it has some value to create the space, do it again, and cause a situation like that. And that being said, you're only -1, so it's not particularly bad, and it could lead to some interesting situations. You could go for a perfect parry. You could try and bait them and maybe go for a delayed 4 HP or anything like that. But if you try to do this mid-screen, and obviously you will be able to get the drink, if you get the confirm into target combo, then I would advise you to drink mid-screen. If you're in the corner, then I wouldn't advise you to do it. Basically, what I'm just trying to get at is it does get significantly more value. So in one of these situations, it could be great for a challenge is one of the following. So if you do go for the meaty setup, as you can see, we're +5 here. You go for a micro walk into another 5MP into 5MK. The reason why you could go for a Rekka or you could go for whatever you want. Sometimes I want to go for an empty 5MK. The reason for that is some people would like to you know, go for a DI when you're pressing 5MK. So sometimes going for an empty 5MK and don't cancel it into anything is pretty good. So you can counter DI. But if you do this certain sequence, 5MP, micro walk 5MP, 5MK, you can actually set up a perfectly spaced 6MK afterwards, avoiding, in this case, Ed's 2MP, for example. Now, one extra thing to notice here is that from one of our previous videos that we did, in our Jamie Tech video talking about drink level 3 to 4, creating frame difference. This is an extra one that I haven't mentioned in a previous video, but if you go into drink level 4 on overhead, you are +2, meaning you can set up for a 2LP or a strike throw, just a strike throw situation. You're plus on block, which is great, or plus on wake up. So keep that in mind when you're using 6MK as well. It can set up for some really nice space traps where it's just completely out of reach of any other normal that most people can throw. I've got an example here of, you know, this is definitely one of the characters that most of us really hate, right? Ed has his standing medium kick 5MK, has really good range, leads into a target combo for a knockdown, and all that beautiful stuff. It's annoying. And sometimes I hear people saying like, yeah, I can't even get close to him because we don't really have anything to deal with it. But we have an overhead that reaches further than one of Ed's annoying buttons. And that's really good to keep in mind, that is a thing that works. You can even, see that? You can even hit him during the active move. Boom. You're +6. Look at that. I can even get +7. So it's a very interesting scenario where if you're lucky, you can actually get a combo with 2MK. It's hard to time, but just what I'm trying to get at is you can actually get situations where you can hop over one of Ed's most annoying buttons. Now, just to show you the same situation with Ken a little bit here. You jump over the medium kick pretty much, and you can sort of treat it like a 4 HP in some regard. Is that as long as you get the startup right, you can hop over the normals, and you can get some decent. You know, you're not gonna get that much damage off of it compared to like a 4 HP, But in some cases, what I'm really trying to get at is that in neutral it has way more usage than what a lot of people think. Just look at that. Look at that range that you're getting from. And even if you get to confirm on a crouching opponent, especially there, it's a free drink in neutral. And that is definitely something significant here. Now, there are a couple of situations where this 6MK can actually work against specific matchups. In this case, we got Chun here. Let's play the replay. He's gonna go do Azanshu. You know, it hits very low. It only has a hitbox. Or hurtbox, I should say. No, it's hitbox. I always get those two mixed up. But you can see that it's only hitting very low. So as you can see, I can, on reaction, see that? Go for the 6MK. And you punish that move completely. So yeah, that is one of the fantastic uses for 6MK as well. Here's another situation where this works as well. This is a little bit trickier, but it also works against Hooligan from Cammy. As you can see. And you can say like, yeah, but there's a lot more, let's say, what is it? There's a lot more extra usages for Hooligan. That's true, but find the timing for this as well, because as you can see, there it is. It's really weird. Gotta delay it quite a bit. There we go. But it has its usages against Cammy as well, especially if they try to utilize it full screen, then, or they want to go for a side switch, for example, then you actually know. You can guess it's going to come out, right? If they're gonna go for a Hooligan mix-up, then maybe it's not the best idea to do so. Another one of those examples is, well, you guessed it, Akuma slide as well. There we go, and it's pretty consistent as well. Timing is very easy, and you can see that works out pretty well. So, yeah. Don't forget that this option exists, because it definitely works against a couple of characters. Now there might be a couple of other characters where this works on as well, but you can see that 6MK does have some really niche usages to it. It can lead into a drink, so it could basically lead in one of these matchups. It could lead to like a guaranteed punish with a guaranteed drink, and that's really good, because keep in mind, Cammy's Hooligan slide and Akuma slide are plus on block. As you can see, they are +2. We are -2 in this situation, so it's not our turn. So if we actually punish this instead, then that means we can turn a plus situation into our advantage and get it. You can go for a combo and you can get a drink out of it. So keep that in mind next time you are facing Akuma. That pretty much sums it up on what I had for 6MK. So I would love to see some suggestions, because I am still working on some setups with max range. So I'm gonna pretty much lay it out for you guys what I want to see. It is max range situations where we are plus, that doesn't involve drive rush, where we can get a max range overhead on drink level 2. So pretty much similar to the medium DP from that range. If there are similar situations like this that we can create for ourselves to get an advantage, to, you know, to get a sneaky little drink in there and, you know, go for, you just get a free drink, catch them off guard, and utilize the fullest of 6MK, because I still believe that there are some hidden secrets behind this overhead. So yeah, keep in mind, utilize it more in the neutral. Don't forget that you can get a meaty in the corner. Don't forget it works against specific matchup like Chun-Li's Zanshu, Cammy's Hooligan, and Akuma's Demon Flip slide option. And there's probably a lot more options. So any normal or special that leads into a very low hitbox, there are some situations where Jamie can utilize this and use the overhead 6MK as a part. If you did like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, as usual, to stay cautious. And I will see you all in the next one.